Up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. Today we've got a new HELMINTH build for you. It's Sentient Wrath Nova. This will actually be a full loadout guide on my current Nova setup. And if you've been watching the channel for a long time, you probably know that I make new Nova videos every year, basically, showing my current loadout. Last year, I believe, was the Cedo and Silence. The year before that was Phantasma. I don't think we had HELMINTH way back or 2 years ago. And now we've got Sentient Wrath Nova. So if you want to see how this works, it's going to let you nuke down low-level missions really fast and let you debuff high-level missions for increased damage. So these guys are level 20. This is like normal star chart stuff. In the normal star chart, you are going to nuke stuff down really quickly. So let's just debuff them. And that's what you can expect from Sentient Wrath Nova. Alright, so we're going to go over the full build here. Now, of course, if these guys were level 50, it probably wouldn't kill them. And also realize they also have no armor. So it's going to be, like, you know, for low-level non-Grenier missions, it should be good enough just to, like, you know, tear your way through. It's doing about 1,600 damage with it. But that's when the weapons come into play. You can just fire off one rocket and everything is dead. So we're going to bump it up to level 185. We're going to show all the gear we have going on. We're actually going pretty deep on what we're using here. So make sure you're stuffed and all that to keep up to date on all these videos. So, as I did say, we have Sentient Wrath from Caliban, the newest frame. Basically, you stomp on the ground, energy waves go in all directions, they will deal some damage, and debuff the enemies. This ability requires lots of stats. We need range, we need power strength, we need duration. You don't really need efficiency, so we didn't end up going for that, but you need basically every other stat. This combined with Nova's fourth ability, Molecular Prime, which this ability needs strength and duration, doesn't really need range. The range will influence the explosion radius when these guys die, so we did mod for a good amount of range here, to be honest, because we need it for this. Also, I do like to place wormhole portals. You can fire missiles through the portals, you can jump through yourself. Lots of things you can do with these portals, very good utility. And since we can only HELMINTH off one skill, we still got Null Star. You could technically take off Null Star and put Sentient Wrath there instead, but for what we have, this is what you're gonna get. And like I said, you need lots of different stats. This isn't going to be a Combat Discipline Avenger setup, but we've actually got some interesting ways to do it. So, Combat Discipline, rank 1. Let's get some gameplay on the screen while I'm talking about all this stuff. So, Combat Discipline, rank 1. When you kill an enemy, you lose 1 health. But you'll also heal your teammates by 5. That 1 health per kill that you lose is going to trigger the Arcane Avenger, which will give you increased crit chance by 45%. It also technically triggers other arcanes, but we're only using Arcane Avenger in this gameplay footage. That's really good. The other arcane we're rocking is Arcane Energize, and the reason we're rocking Arcane Energize is just because it is the best arcane in the game. Anyone that tells you otherwise probably doesn't have an Arcane Energize maxed out, to be honest. So it gives us a ton of, like, half our energy pool in one orb, basically. Now the rest here is, it's really, really hard to fit this all on here. So we've got Natural Talent. Casting speed for her 4 is really slow. Casting speed for Sentient Wrath is really slow. Having faster casting speed also helps with the portals to, like, you know, quickly be able to use them back and forth. So really important mod there. If you are okay with the casting speed, you could potentially take this off for more range or something else like that. But it's a pretty tight build. We've got Augur Secrets and Umbral Intensify for our power strength. This gets us over 100%, as we are rocking Overextended for increased range for our portals and for our Sentient Wrath traveling further. You're going to need some power strength somewhere, and that's how we got it. We got these 2 mods right here. I'd love to go into more power strength, but do keep in mind, the higher power strength you have, the more slow the enemies will become, which potentially might annoy your teammates. The rest of the stuff here, we've got, you know, a little bit of duration, some more range, and then Prime Flow. Nova has a huge energy pool, so getting some more on there is really nice. So yeah, the general gist of this setup is basically, you know, you use M Prime to double the enemy damage. You use Sentient Wrath to either nuke down fodder enemies, and then the enemies that are still alive will get an increased damage vulnerability. Only 37% increased damage vulnerability with this build, but that's why, like I'm saying, you need lots of stats. And if you want to take off Overextended, you might be able to get some more damage debuff, but it's not going to be traveling very far. So let's start going over the weapons here, and the very important crew member I'm actually using here. If you watched my video from like a couple weeks ago on the on-call crew member healer, we're actually going to utilize him quite effectively for this build. As I showed you, we have Combat Discipline and Arcane Avenger combo. We're losing health, but we have no way of healing unless we were to use Operator Arcanes. That's where the on-call crew member actually comes into effect. So I'm going to show you what on-call crew member we're using right here. It's just a really quick like rundown. So you need rank 10 command insurance to get these guys with these special passives, and they'll randomly come from Ticker and Fortuna. You have to be checking the stock. So we got Cost Brutentia, and they've got increased. They've got 5 combat, 5 endurance, giving them increased damage by 200%, increased shield capacity, and health by a lot as well. You've got the special ability when you get to kill. Allies in the area get a 50 heal per second, so 500 total health over 10 seconds, and it refreshes. So as long as he's killing stuff with his Kuva Czar with a full build. By the way, ribbons don't work on on-call crew members. We tested it with an elemental ribbon. He's killed everything with the Kuva Czar. I'm getting constant heals. My combat discipline is not killing me ever because I'm just being constantly healed as long as this guy's out. Now keep in mind, their duration, I believe, is 3 minutes long, but the way I look at it, most quick missions in this game only take like 3 minutes anyway, so he's basically got the whole mission. So really good stuff there. He is crucial to the build to make me not lose all my health from getting kills. This is not a build meant for Endurance Steel Path. This is a build meant for, honestly, just normal gameplay, like Kuva Floods, Fissures, like sorties and stuff like that. I rocked it for the sortie. Today it was really good. Let's start going over the weapons here because, you might see me firing rockets through a portal and you might not know what that weapon is potentially. So as far as weapons, we've got in the primary slot, we've got the Tenant Envoy. Actually not as popular of a weapon as you would think. Is a laser guided rocket launcher, so you can aim where the rockets are going to go. And we've got a 60% Tox Elemental on the Tenant Envoy. The reason this is good, look at these elementals that are built onto this thing. The impact of the rocket does impact damage only, but the explosion of the rocket has built-in cold. If you get a Toxin roll on the Tenant Envoy, that cold and that Toxin combines together to give us viral damage on the explosion with no elemental mods. So this build is basically just for running through missions pretty quickly. I technically don't really want to run the Bane mod, as this is a general purpose build, but it's on here, so might as well use it. So the Ribbon is crit chance and crit damage with minus zoom. Getting a crit chance Ribbon for the Tenant Envoy gets you to over 100% crit chance, so you're guaranteed a yellow crit. You're going to get some orange crits in there too, especially when we start adding on Arcane Avenger. We're getting like 50% chance to orange crit. And Vigilante Supplies giving us, some red crits sometimes too. So the idea here is we want an AoE weapon because AoE weapons are the meta. That's as simple as I can put it. Prime Firestorm. We've also got Amalgam Fear Axe body count, making it so we have a nearly 15 meter range on this explosion. It's just really nasty. We got 100 munitions for slash procs. This thing's critting all the time. It's lots of slash procs. Primary Merciless. Now you could technically take this off for a different arcane. As we're not really reloading this thing normally. So the way this thing works is that you fire off some rockets, and pretty powerful, big explosions, nice sound effects, nice visuals. This thing has awful reload. Look at how long it takes to reload this thing normally. What you want to do is you want to fire off some rockets, and when you're thinking you want to reload, that's when you start either using your secondary or punching with your melee. While this thing is holstered, it is automatically reloaded. You might even catch it reloading some rockets when you switch back to it. That is why we don't really need reload speed, but Merciless is just so good I decided to go with it anyway. So, that's our main DPS sword is the Tenant Envoy. And the reason I'm using the Tenant Envoy over something like the Braum or the Czar is just because I've used those weapons a lot, and I wanted to try something else out. This is more of like a for fun kind of build, although Sentient Wrath Nova is pretty decent. There's weapons I don't use as much. We're still doing pretty good damage, so I got no problems there. Going over to the secondary. Now, there's a reason I didn't use something like the Piranha Prime. That's because the Piranha Prime is currently bugged. Actually, lots of shotgun pistols and shotgun primaries are very bugged with Galvanized Shot, which is the mod for condition overload for guns. On pellet guns, it just does so much damage right now. It is going to get bug fixed soon. So we've got the Atomos. It's been a really powerful weapon. It's pseudo AoE, and keep in mind, we're not running a Bane mod on here just because it's a general use build. It basically it's a fire pistol that will chain between enemies. It's only MR5, but it actually has really decent stats, and it's good for mowing stuff down. So since the enemies are taking so many debuffs from, let's actually get some armored dudes in here so you guys can see how that goes. Since they're getting debuff from R4 and getting debuff from Sentient Wrath, it's pretty nice damage with all those heat procs stacked up. Get 10 of these guys, and let's see how this goes. This is with no galvanized stacks, so keep that in mind. We're going to switch over here. We're going to debuff them with this, and then debuff them with that. Keep in mind, you will not get many headshots when they're CC'd like that. But, with no Merciless, no galvanized stacks, we are a AoE terror with just the Atomos. So, The Riven is heat. If you don't have a Riven for heat, guys, just go with Prime Heated Charge. Might actually be better than my Riven in the long run. But yeah, Runic Extension is now a Exilus mod. Might want to rock that. And like I said, if you're going for bigger damage, you should put a Bane mod in there. It's definitely a lot more bang for your buck. Now, as far as the last couple of items here, we got the Firax Wraith. It's my current favorite melee. Not exactly like big damage, but it's mostly because of this mod right here. Amalgam, Firax Body Count, increased blast radius for launchers, just makes the Envoy even bigger explosion. So yeah, really highly recommend getting this. You don't even need the Firax Wraith. You can actually do the normal Firax, even the Mark 1 Firax. You can buy it for credits. This can equip that mod, and if you're not using it just to punch stuff, it's really nice. So we'll just quickly show that against these guys. This is not a build really meant for high levels, but let's just try it out anyway. So, you know, not too bad for like no blood rush, no weeping wounds, no nothing. We're gonna debuff them now, and pretty much like a one-shot on these guys. So, yeah, this is all with ribbons, of course. But when I make videos like this is showing the stuff I use. I use ribbons. So, the focus tree we have is Xeneric Focus Tree, giving us 5 energy per second for like 25 seconds, I think it is. With the Energizing Dash, yeah, for 30 seconds actually. So that's going to help us as our combo, the 4 into the 2. This combo, the Sentient Wrath combo, you want to actually cast M Prime first, which is 100 energy, and then you want to cast Sentient Wrath. That is the key to this combo, because the traveling of the wave for M Prime is slower than the traveling of the wave for Sentient Wrath. So do that into that. That will nuke low levels. That will debuff them very nicely. And we're not even going for max damage right now. We're hitting really, really hard. So another little fun that you could do, as the projectile speed for the Envoy is pretty slow, you can actually put out a wormhole portal and fire the rocket through it. It makes the rocket really, really fast. It looked like it was not doing as much damage as it should have, but yeah, that's something you could do. You can also do that with the Atomos as well, make it a long-range flamethrower pistol if you wanted to try that. It's kind of goofy, but it is fun. So it does not usually have that much range. And then let's just finish them off the rocket. There you go. So that's just one of the fun things you can do with Nova and, like, you know, powerful weapons. Let's go over the last couple things before we call it here. Oh, I'm also going to show the on-call crew member. So, like, look at my health right now. 290. I believe we have 300 health maximum. We're going to summon these guys. We're going to drop the on-call guy. I have it actually set to a keybind on my keyboard. So we throw him out. He basically just insta-nukes everything. Then see that proc Arcane Avenger? I did not shoot there. He can proc Arcane Avenger for you. If you have the combat discipline setup going. So the final stuff here, we got the Smita Kavat. Pretty standard build, you know, just Tech Assault to make the Smita buffs last longer, Charm to make them do the ability in the first place, Animal Instinct to see loot on the map, and then Tech Enhance, making it very likely your cat will not die. Actually, I got these two mixed up. Tech Enhance is the one that makes your abilities last longer, and Tech Assault makes it so they don't die as much. If it does start bleeding out, Medi Pet Kit gives us more time to revive it. And Fetch gives us Vacuum for pets, basically. So, really, really good stuff there. I don't actually use the Arcwing gun part of this, but the Mazlon is one of the best Arcwing guns. If you want to do the Profit Taker build, it's radiation corrosive, and it melts the Profit Taker very quickly. So, yeah, as far as, you know, other weapons, of course, like I said, you could do the Brahma, you could do the Zar Tonkor, all that good stuff. Ogress was good. My previous videos, we used the Phantasma and the Cedo for Nova, and these are still top-tier weapons for Nova. But this year, I was trying to go for a more, you know, good against Acolytes kind of situation. As the Phantasma is bad against Acolytes, but good against Trash Ads. The Envoy is actually good against Trash Ads and Acolytes from my experience. So that was the idea here. We wanted AoE, we wanted pseudo-AoE, and then we wanted just a melee to make the AoE even better, because AoE is the meta currently. So let's just summon in the tankiest dudes we can and unleash the full fury of this loadout on them. Let's just see. Exo Gokstag officers, they're tanky. We're gonna get Manic Bombards. I know you guys like those too. And this is with no. It should be with no Bane mod. I'm pretty sure I took it off. If not, it's with a Bane mod. All right. So our on-call crew member is already firing. So let's just get over there before he kills everyone already. All right. So with the full fury of the loadout, not even meant for high scaling, you know, we basically just took him out in like 2 shots. And that was with no galvanized stacks, so let's just re-summon them and then do it one more time, and we'll call it a video, okay? Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. I really do like making full loadout guides like this. Just didn't really like have the drive to do it. But Nova, you know, Nova's one of my favorites. These explosive weapons are so powerful right now. Figured it was a perfect time to do it. And yeah, the on-call crew member is very nice to give you like basically permanent heals. It does heal your teammates too. It does heal objectives, and it heals necromechs. So I'd highly recommend checking out that full video on the on-call crew member mech healer. It might be interesting to you. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Hopefully I didn't forget anything, and thanks so much for the support. Take it easy. Peace.